sometimes it takes you looking at the situation or what other people are going through to bring on your own gratitude. Because no matter how miserable at some times I was, I had a home to live in.
Christian and Tamica Lloyd are transformational coaches. They believe everyone has the right to perfect health. Perfect health is not only about the foods we eat, it is also about the health of our mindset, relationships, spirituality, our movement, and our negative stress level. These areas are even more important than what we put in our mouth. One of the most important practices they touch on in their coaching business is the attitude or gratitude. Gratitude is the key to releasing a negative mindset. Gratitude can set you free from fears, from your negative self-image, from self-loathing, and it can get you back on the path of homeostasis. We all can have the life of our dreams and the health that is our God-given birthright. You are never too old and it's never too late. Christian and Tamica want to help you be the best version of you so that you can show up in the world and help others be the best version of themselves. I love having a duo in my interviews. Listen, I have yet to have that. I'm lying. This is my first time on this show having a couple, and I'm super excited because we are going to have the conversation about gratitude. Listen, there's so much to be grateful for, yet you are probably watching this and say, I am in pain. I don't see what is great about this life. Listen, you tuned in into the right content because we're going to have an engaging conversation so that you understand that you have to think about being grateful all day, every day. And we're going to help you through that. But not just me, because I have a couple helping you here. And I'm going to let them introduce themselves really quickly so that we could dive into the conversation. Hello, beautiful couple. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Well, I'll go first. My name is Tamica Lloyd. Everybody call me Coach T. And I am a diabetes coach for women. And I help women with type 2 diabetes and pre-diabetes and women who are overweight and who just want their health back. And my husband here, I'll let him introduce himself.
I am Christian Lloyd. I am Tamica's husband. I got that right. I am known as Coach CGL, which are essentially my initials to my first, middle, and last name. I'm a transformational nutrition coach. I help men in their 50s seize back their health in times of health challenges as we see today, way before the pandemic. Pretty much how food is medicine and people have forgotten that. So I'm here to remind them of that. And I'm also a living testament of that. So that's why I'm here to help the men in their 50s in particular with their health.
I love that you do that, both of you, because I'll tell you personally, I had to live that. My husband was diagnosed with diverticulitis and he was not even 40 years old. And that is when we not only were grateful, right, for the ability for the medical field to fix that, but also we were grateful of the situation because now we know how important gut health is and food is. And as we are, raising our children, making sure that we watch all these things, right? We watch what they eat and how they take care of themselves. And so very, very nice what you do. And thank you so much for showing up. And by the way, for you watching, know that we will be sharing the information on how you can connect so that you can also get the support in regards to all of this that they offer between nutrition, help, and transformation and whatnot. So stay tuned. I know you're excited. We're going to dive in first in the conversation before we tell you where to go. And so today we're talking about gratitude, right? And you mentioned about the pandemic and how tough it was, right, for the past almost 2 years for us to adjust and adapt in the situation that we were in. And many of us, honestly, couldn't find the silver lining, couldn't find the light, whether losing jobs, right? That's happened to me. I was laid off, right, during the pandemic, or people just, wanting that social life and missing it. And so with that, tell me, both of you, either one of you, doesn't matter, what resonates to you when someone tells you, what does gratitude mean to you?
For me, gratitude means being thankful and being grateful for my life. When you speak about the pandemic, you're right. So many people were depressed. So many people were alone. So many people lost their jobs, got sick. And it's like, well, how in the world can you be grateful in a time like that? And for me, when I thought about my own situation, I was grateful for little things. I was grateful that I could see. I was grateful that I wasn't sick. I was grateful that my children were well. Sometimes it takes you looking at the situation or what other people are going through to bring on your own gratitude. Because no matter how miserable at sometimes I was, I had a home to live in. I had food in my refrigerator. I could walk. So some people somewhere didn't have that. I had family members that were in a hospital. I lost friends. I lost relatives. And with all those losses, prompted more gratitude because I just love life. So I'm like, oh my goodness, that is so sad. I don't understand why these things are happening, but I celebrate God. You can call it what you want. But for me, it was, thank you. Thank you. And what it did as well is it prompted not only me, but a lot of other people to reevaluate their life. Sometimes things happen and it happens for a reason. Like what you're saying, you lost your job during COVID. I would imagine that, of course, that was a sad thing, but it prompted you to do the great things that you're doing now. In a sense, it was a form of a blessing, but unfortunately, some people just get stuck in a negative. And that's what we help people, because with coaching, it's not just food, it's not just exercise. You can eat kale all day and still be sick. It's about your mindset. It's about your gratitude practices. It encompasses so much. And that's what we teach. We're not going to give you a menu and say, okay, you just eat this, you'll be, no, we're going to get down to your mindset. What's going on? So for me, that's what gratitude is. And to be able to help people, I'm grateful that I'm alive to help people be the best version of them.
Wow, how do I
yeah.
How do I piggyback onto that?
Let's see what you got.
Let's see what I got.
Gratitude.
I will piggyback off of you, Martine, about being laid off of work, because I essentially was a limo driver, which was one of the first essential jobs to really be cut off because nobody was traveling. Everybody had to stay at home. It was a bit of I don't want to get up early in the morning anymore. I like the fact that I'm being at home. And then it became a wave of fear, a wave of information of fear, and wondering what's going to happen, hearing about the deaths. Am I next? Not knowing what this pandemic was going to yield in its final analysis. And it was very confusing, though I was grateful to draw on my recent health journey, which was pre-pandemic. So I was able to look within myself to realize I've got a foundation here already. But yet there was no sense of community because we were sheltering at home. We were hearing the bombardment of the information. So without that sense of community, where did I stand on that? So I continued to go inward. I confided in my wife a lot, and we already are both on the same health page. So with that foundation, we were able to slowly put feelers out and realize that we weren't alone. But it took a long time to do that because of the censorship that has occurred as a result of this, the lack of information, the whole picture of information. People were resigning themselves to be in that pigeonhole of information. And we knew better. So it became that mission within the both of us. Look, we've got our health. We're waking up every day. We're giving thanks for every meal that we have, for every breath that we take. Every second that we're living is an opportunity to live in gratitude. And being in that present moment, we're able to say, okay, we see what's going on in the world. What can we do with our foundation become of service to others? And that was our platform of gratitude. And we were able to come up with a mission, which is why we started our business. And it became a driving force because each day it was something stronger, something more uplifting, because we were able to start from that platitude of gratitude. And then it becomes that attitude of gratitude. And then from there, we become a fortitude of gratitude.
Ooh, hold on a minute. Hold on. Even when I watch this, I'm rewinding this part. Hot. You guys are touching on, I mean, this is so powerful. So we have to serve the audience right now. Okay. We're gonna step into your expertise right now. Okay. And we're gonna help the audience that is currently not feeling so good. And that's okay, by the way, if that's how you feel, because you are in the right place watching this right now. We're going to help you and we're going to tell you what to do. And so my experts here are going to help you understand what to do daily, right? What are you going to start doing daily to feel present, to understand what to be grateful for? I mean, you touched on a lot of things here. Thinking about other people that are probably dealing with worse, right? That is going to give you a sense of, hey, I'm good. But I want you guys to help us dive in and make it as simple as we possibly can to understand, what do we have to do tonight when we go to bed? What do we have to do tomorrow morning when we wake up, so that we can start diving into that gratitude? How did you just say that? Fortitude, attitude.
Platitude,
yes,
attitude, and fortitude.
Yes, it's so good. And so, yeah, just tell us what are the simple things that we can start doing to start building that gratitude in our lives and start moving forward?
Well, the first thing that I would suggest, if you watch the news, stop, and stop. Because all that's going to do is combine your fears and keep you in that low level energy. You have to stop. The second thing that I would advise is, before you go to bed, think about your day. What went right? What made you happy? And if you say, oh, Coach T, it wasn't really nothing that made me happy, it's something that made you happy. It's something that brought joy. Maybe, we have grown kids. Maybe your child called you. Maybe you have little kids. Maybe it was just hearing your child laugh. Maybe it was you spoke to your parent, you took a walk, you smelled, whatever. It doesn't have to be big. Start small. You can find 2 things in your day that went right. And and you write it down. Don't just think about it, write it down, because it's a power in writing. And I mean, get a pen, get a pad, and write it down. Because when you start to write it, what'll happen is it'll It'll create the vision in your mind, and that vision will invoke the heart, the emotion. And then you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that was, oh, I got to speak to such and such. Oh, that was nice. And so then you go to sleep with that greatness, that gratitude. When you wake up, what you do is the first thing you do. Oh, I'm alive. Thank you. Thank you. I'm alive. And then what I want you to do is plot out your day, plot out your intentions. Sometimes, not sometimes, a lot of the times people don't control their mind. So when you don't have control over your mind, you are just looking at everything and, oh, look at this. Oh, look at this. Oh, look. No, control your mind. Write out your intentions for the day. Write out what you want to happen during the day. Paint that picture. And if you have to go through something that's not very nice, maybe you have a medical appointment, write out the outcome. Write out, Bob Proctor, love Bob Proctor. Everything I say, I started out with, I am so happy and grateful. Powerful. I'm so happy and grateful this doctor's appointment went well. I am so happy and grateful that now I see the good in people. I am so happy and grateful, whatever. And write it down, because once you write it down again, you're setting that intention, not to say that your day is going to go the way you want it to go. But if it doesn't, something happens, you'll think back, well, okay, well, yeah, this person was a jerk, but I am so happy and grateful that now I don't have to deal with them anymore. Like you will be amazed at how, when you start the practice every day, the changes that you will have in a week, in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks. It seems simple, but people don't do it. And it is that simple, because that is the catalyst of you creating more positivity in your life. Your brain can't be a negative and positive at the same time. So you want it to focus on that positive. So those would be my
love that.
suggestions.
Interrupting this episode really quickly to thank you for tuning in to this show. I truly appreciate you consuming this wonderful content. And I want to invite you to not only leave us a review, share with us which episode resonated the most, right? And let your friends and family know about this show. How do you do that? Well, there's many ways you could do this. You can leave us a review on Facebook. You can leave us a review on Amazon, or you can also leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. And so we look forward to hearing from you, and we look forward to continuing to bring you more amazing individuals to support you in visualizing whatever it is that you want in your life and your business, and start creating that. Take action today, all right? Do not hold back. And with that, let's go back to the episode. I love that, because while you were breaking it down, I was thinking, and you answered the question, what if you paint that picture, which I love, by the way. I mean, this show is called Visualize and Create. I'm big, and that's why I'm so happy that you guys are here, and you talked about visualizing your day, right? And so you mentioned, and I was going to ask you, but you answered that when you visualize your day, things happen, life happens. You get a phone call that's not so nice, right? Mm-hmm. So how do you control that emotion? And because you did that prep in the morning, right? You're saying you should be able to control your mind and your thoughts as a result. Did you want to add a little bit more to that? Just because I know, unfortunately, there's not so much good news happening in the world as of late. As you mentioned, don't watch the news. Watch this TV network, by the way.
Right.
That's
yes.
right.
So do you mind adding a little bit more to, the actions that you should take at that moment when you get that bad phone call, or God forbid, like the other day I was driving and then the car went like this, and I'm like, oh my God, flat tire in the middle of the highway, right? With 2 kids in the car. I was pretty mad, but and I did not handle it very well. So for a situation like that, what would you say to do at that moment when that call comes in or that situation happens? What do you do before you start going crazy and getting mad and just hating the world?
Instead of reacting, I would say focus on responding, because we're in a very reactional society. This happens, what do I do? This happens at that moment, what do I do? When you respond, it becomes a pause. Whether you have to take a deep breath, if you have to take 3 deep breaths. Those are the things I tend to do when I come upon that time of distress. And it's going to happen. And that's another thing you have to learn to realize, that you're going to come up with challenges in your life. It's going to push you out of your comfort zone. And if you are not in control of your emotions, you become victim to the circumstance. So with the deep breaths, it does a whole lot to your physicality. There's a part, in your body that's called the vagus nerve, which they originally said that you cannot control, but through breath, you can. And it has worked wonders. I've seen our daughter panic over the phone, face to face. She starts hyperventilating. And then I just look into her eyes and I said, look into my eyes. Breathe in. Breathe out. And she's doing it just from following me, by trusting me. And then all of a sudden, she starts getting calmer. And then as I'm looking at her, I start to smile. You see, you're getting calmer already. And she starts to smile with me. So I know that that works. It works within myself and it works within other people. So a lot of turning inward is really one of the foundations, again, because again, I go to that foundation of self. If you are in control of self, you are able to handle situations that are external from yourself. You can't control the actions, but again, you can control how you respond to it.
Yes. And I just want to add, because people always say this to me, they say, oh, you're such a positive, person. I don't know how you can do this day in and day out. And it's a choice. When things happen, you have a choice. Now, of course, when these challenging things happen, you have the right to be mad. You have the right to be angry. You have the right to do whatever it is that you want to do. But I also like to tell people, take that time and do that. You have that incident where you're on the road. I know you was like, what the heck? I got the kids in the car. You can have permission to feel that. But as you're breathing, you're also letting that go. And then in your mind, you're thinking, okay, now what am I going to do? How am I going to handle it? So it's not like positive thinking, like, okay, if this happens, then, oh, well, no, you deal with the anger. Someone dies, God forbid, you deal with that. You handle the grief, and that you give yourself as much time as you need. You breathe, you think, and then you move on. But what people are doing now, like Christian said, is they're reactionary. So, okay, somebody cut me off. All right, I'm going to get this one. I'm going to get in the finger. You done doing all that for what? Got your blood pressure all up for what? It's like, yeah, this person did that. The person probably didn't even realize they cut you off because they're too busy on their phone or doing whatever. But now you done wasted all of those seconds being mad. For what? And I used to be that person. You cut me off back in the day in my 20s. Oh, really? Now it's like people do it. And I'm just like, go on ahead. You must be, maybe you a doctor or something. You got an emergency surgery. That's what the picture that I paint in my mind. Because at the end of the day, we can't control the outside. We can only control us. And unfortunately, right now in this world, a lot of people aren't doing a good job of controlling themselves. And then your children see that. So if your children see mommy giving the person the New Jersey wave on the highway, what do you think they're going to do? It's so easy because no one really trained us to respond. I know I wasn't. I was just trained. First of all, I wasn't trained at all. It was like, oh, it's, you just go on your business. But we're not really trained to, or we think everything that happens to us is somebody else's fault. And then we become the victim. We can only control us. And that takes time. It's not easy. It took me I'm not going to exaggerate, 10 years for me not to let what other people do set me off. So it's not easy. No. But when you set your intentions that, you know what, this is the person that I want to be. And that's what you ask yourself. How do you want to be? If I want to be like Martine, because I think Martine has this wonderful spirit, which you do, then I have to say to myself, what would Martine do? Martine not going to be giving people the finger in front of her kids. So I'm not going to do that. You really have to know yourself in order to fix yourself and be honest with yourself.
Yes. Ooh, I love that. Yes. And so, and the reality is, here's the thing. You can't do it by yourself. You could try. You could try, but this is why both of you are here, right? To tell us how we can connect with you so you can support us in that transformation. Because it takes time. And I always say this, listen, I love the internet, hence why I do all this content stuff, and, and I graduated YouTube University, right? And Google University. But when I needed the transformation, my mind transformation, I knew that I needed to invest in myself. And I'm sharing this with you watching, only to let you know that your life is precious. And Tamica and Christian are here, and they're reminding you of that. Time is precious. And you'll hear me say often, budget your energy. Right?
That's right.
Put your energy in the right places and be in a place of service. But again, it's very challenging to do it on your own. You may read or listen to podcasts or tune in to great episodes like this. But the truth is, if you don't take action, right? And you don't believe that you can actually transform so that you can have a better life, that one life that you have right here on earth, right? And preserve that, then that's when it's going to be hard. And so I want to invite you to listen to what is available for you today in order for you to start that transformation. And so please do share with us what you have to offer to us to help us transform our lives, be more grateful, have intentions, and create the life that we want and the business that we want.
Well, we love Martine. We love her network. We love her viewers. And so, we have actually two options for your viewers. We have a membership platform that is reopening in a few weeks. And it's a yearly membership. And every month we go through different areas. The first of which will be mindset, because we're going to talk about gratitude. We're going to talk about resilience. We're going to talk about all those great things, because that has to be the foundation for the change. And then the next month we'll go through, other things. We have that. And for, your listeners, the monthly membership is only $20. You're going to get a webinar. You're going to get journals. You're going to get so much. Once you become a member of that, you will get other deals off our supplements, our vitamins, our coaching plans. So we want to make it as affordable as possible for you to get where you want to go. So that's the first thing we're going to offer. The second thing that we're going to offer your viewers is personalized coaching. And what we're going to do is anyone who comes to us and say that they saw us on your show, or Martine, that they just mentioned your name, it doesn't matter. What we're going to do is give them 70% off of our 3-month coaching. The coaching is every other week, so twice a month. And for 3 months, it's $300, which is $50 per session. I'm going to say that again, $50 per session. So that is for your viewers as a thank you. Thank you to you for having us on. Thank you to you for the great things that you're doing in your service to the community, because, you know, you guys may not know this, but I've known Martine now, and I've always loved her. And when I found out about this show, you talk about somebody, you would have thought I had a show. I was crying. I was like, oh, Martine, oh my God, look at Martine. Like, you would have just thought I hit the lotto, girl. I was looking at your videos crying. People like, what's wrong with you? My girl Martine, she all right? Yeah, she great, you know? They're like, okay. But I was just, you talk about grateful, you talk about happiness and thankfulness. You know, I just can't explain how much I love you and how much I love what you're doing. And you already know, if you ever need anything, you know, we're here. But that is the specials that we definitely have for your viewers as a thank you to you for what you do.
All right, you got me teary up in here. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Tamica. This is touching my heart. You know, I have goosebumps, dear God. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. And this is what we're talking about, you know, that sense of community you mentioned, right, earlier. Exactly. You know, we connected on the internet and we build that relationship. We have to be a community, right? You're watching this show, you feel aligned, you feel like it's resonating with you. Don't block that emotion. Take action, reach out. What a wonderful offer. And, you know, this episode, I don't know when you're watching it, if it's July of 2024 or July. Listen, that doesn't mean that you should not be reaching out. Reach out. It's a
we'll still honor it.
There you go. Definitely tap in. I mean, this is such an, oh my God, 70% off. I mean, this is huge. Thank you so much for doing what you're doing. Thank you for bringing such a positive energy and vibe to us on this show, because this is what we want. And every time we tune in, we want to see wonderful, purpose-driven individuals like yourself. And I want to thank you for coming on the show today. And I also want to invite you back whenever you want, so that you can share your wisdom, your expertise, and support us in our journey. Because as we mention over and over, it's not easy. And as much as you see it online and on TV, you see us here like, oh, they got their together. Look at them. Look at Martine. Her makeup is hot. And then Christopher has his suit on and they look hot. It's not easy. We did not wake up like this yesterday.
No.
Okay.
No.
So we
knew what happened behind the scenes before we had to come in front of this camera.
Exactly.
Like, man, out for run, get in the phone booth, put my cape on, make sure it's all right, make sure I got
that's right.
All right.
That's right.
And I'm on a mission to make sure that, you know, I keep it 100 with everybody that sees, you know, whatever I put together, because that's what's missing. And so I appreciate you guys being so vulnerable. I appreciate you guys giving us the space to feel your energy. And I love that you opened up the door to us to come in and knock and say, help, because that's what you can do right now watching. You want help. You can get it. Do not apologize with the fact that you are realizing that you need help. That's right. It's okay.
That's okay. Right. It's the first step to change.
And it's a safe space. That's the thing.
Space.
It is a safe space. Judgment. It is needed in this time to have a safe space to go to, because when you think you are in that corner and you have nobody else there, we are here. That's right. And people like you are here. And we are thankful for that, because without that, we would not have been here without you reaching out to us. So the door swings both ways.
That's right.
So we are full of gratitude for that.
Yes, thank you. And you know, we can be back whenever you want.
I love it. I love it. So amazing. Thank you so much again for coming on. And for you watching, remember to share this episode with your loved ones and spread the word. I hope that you're going to tune in again for the next episode, and make sure to leave a wonderful review and connect and sign up for this membership. Sign up. Okay. And so thank you so much for coming on. And with that, we are going to say goodbye. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.